Alright, what's up YouTube? Today we have a eat with me video. Alright. Not sponsored or anything, but why not show like where I got my food from? Because then it's an eat with me video. Like the vibe is supposed to be like you're here with me, we're eating together. Obviously like you are wherever you are in the world, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's the vibe of the video, that we're eating together, sharing a meal, whatever taste you have, that's chill. You have your own meal, I have my meal. And so yeah, my bad. I was wrinkling up the bag, but Boardwalk Burgers, it's pretty franchised actually. I'm in the Edmonton branch, but I'm pretty sure this is like all over the world. So yeah, let's dig in. I got one crispy chicken burger and one cheesy Nashville burger after the gym. Obviously, I hope you can tell. I'm just kidding. It's been like an hour since I had my pump. I don't think pumps last that long. But let's get it. This is the cheesy Nashville burger. I'm hype. I'm hype. I'm hype. All right. Bismillah. So like I said, no, like the thumbnail says, the topic of this Eat With Me session is going to be about ego, really. It's about like how to just recognize your ego and how to deal with it. And then also it's a side branch kind of thing, but extremely related as well, is like treating your parents well, right? And it's like not a side branch of ego, but it's like it falls under the category. You know what I mean? So that's I wanted to link the two. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So listen in. I'm sure y'all can relate. So I wanted to start with a story. All right. I want to start with a story. But actually, before we dive into that topic, I just want to say that this is nice. It's nice. Like eating alone, man. It does something to you, man. Like eating alone, like it's one of those things in life that's like it's not supposed to be. Like it's not meant to be eating alone. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, obviously, we have to do what we have to do. Like I'm eating alone right now. I'm not saying it's like a sin or like a bad thing, but it's a little bit sad. It's a little bit sad. Mm, mm. This is gonna take longer than I thought. Eating and talking at the same time, especially with a topic in mind. But anyways, man, hopefully the mic is holding up. Like the fuzzy thing for the wind. Hopefully that's holding up nice. So basically, what I'm trying to say is ego, right? Before we delve into that, I wanted to, like I said, talk about how it's specific to like treating your parents well, how to get your ego out of the way to treat your parents well. And this ties into also eating alone. Like it's at these times where you're like alone, eating alone, working alone. Anytime like you have alone time, especially when it's eating alone though, especially because it's like such a family thing. At least if you're in like a family that's like very family oriented, it's kind of redundant, but you know what I mean. Like a close knit family. Lunchtime, dinner time, usually when we're together, right? So, anyways, I miss my family when I'm eating alone, right? Of course, I can't always be with them though. Mom's at work, dad's at work, sister's at uni, brother at school, and I'm just out here chilling. I'm working at the same time, but it's nice to have this. So it's at these times. It's not only where you miss them, and it's when you miss them, and then you realize, damn, why did I treat them that way? Like yesterday, why did I treat them that way? Why did I speak to my mom that way last week? Why did I not help my dad in this 2 weeks ago? I told him you could do it on your own. Like you notice that, man, like I could be treating them better. You just feel bad about moments that have passed, where you could have dealt with your family better. And so, don't mind me. It's like I hope you're enjoying this. um, I love it. I love having like hitting two birds in one stone, benefits and stuff. But freaking eavesdropping on our conversation, these two. But what I'm trying to say is, there was an incident 2 weeks ago, right? My mom asked me to, I think it was like, I don't even know, I think fill up gas for her next day at work because it was like at what, like 8 p.m. And she was like, I mean, please fill up gas for me before I go to work tomorrow because the tank is getting empty, right? And the gas station is close. Like, wouldn't even matter if it's not or not. Like, I'm her son. I can do these things like in an instant for her, right? I'd gladly do it too. So she said that, right? And I said, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And then I forgot what happened. I think it was like I got distracted maybe with my little brother, or I kind of just like I just got distracted, right? Like maybe my little brother wanted to play, or wasn't maybe it wasn't the top thing. Like I didn't prioritize it well. I didn't put it like at the top of my mind like it should have been because it's something for my mom, right? Like heaven lies under the feet of your mother. Like such a such a powerful thing to like do things for your mom. Like I love it. Like it's so meaningful. It feels so meaningful, right? Even though it's the simplest tasks. Like you know that like God is watching and it's cherished. It's a cherishable thing. So yeah, I had that task to do and then I forgot to do it. And I think it was the following morning my mom realized like or no, she was like out that later that night and then she came back or she was or I was out and then I came back and then she was like it was late at night, 11, maybe close to 12. She was like, okay, I mean, what happened? Like, did you go? I was like, no, to be honest. And then she kind of felt like I ignored her. And then she was like, I mean, like, why did you do that? Are my words not important to you? Like, are the tasks I give you, is it easy for you to just like put them aside and ignore and subdue them? Do they not mean much to you? She was like, do you not just think it was an important thing for you to do? I was like, no. In my head, I was like, no, 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 none of this, no, that's not true, that's not what happened. But instead of me being like, you're right, mom, I'm sorry, this was on me, like, instead of me expressing exactly what I just told you guys, how much I love her and how much that, like, doing things and how much doing things for her brings me actual real joy, instead of saying that stuff, the stuff that I actually knew and felt, guess what happened? Bam, my ego came in the way. So my ego started talking. Guess what I said? I was like, I'm sorry, I think I took a long time to get to this point, but I wanted to give you the prelude, you know? So I was like, yeah, okay. So what? Sorry. You got off my mind for a bit. It's not like things slip. It's not like things don't slip your mind as well. And then I was like, I was also saying that I kind of tried to express my feelings. I was like, Mom, it's not because just I didn't do it right away. It doesn't mean like I don't care about you or your tasks aren't important to me. It's just that, like, like I really like, I couldn't explain it because you know why? My ego is in the way. My ego is in the way. And my first response was, so, like, okay, so what? That's basically what came out of my mouth. Instead of what I actually felt, if I actually took a few seconds just to like cool down and think of a proper response, I would have definitely been able to communicate better and communicate in the way that actually expresses me, like me, not my ego, not my ego getting in the way. Because what the ego does, let's define ego right now. I define ego as, first of all, you go, define your ego. Let's hear it. And then the way I define ego is like it's it's this it's similar to an emotion that comes up when you're like when you are at stake of being labeled imperfect or when you're at fault, but you don't want to admit, like your body doesn't, this ego doesn't want to admit that you're at fault. So it tries to make you seem perfect. This ego is always trying to make you or perceive you as perfect, right? It always wants you to be the guy that doesn't make the mistakes. Everything you do and everything you say is calculated and the right thing to say and the right thing to do. You don't make mistakes. That's what ego is there for. It's for you to seem perfect. And that's just wrong because obviously I was not perfect in that situation. I was in the wrong for sure, 100%. It was on me. But what my ego did was come in the way and say, no, you know what? This happens. Like, it's fine. Maybe it wasn't actually the most important thing I had on my mind. That's what the ego does. And so, what I'm trying to say is, alrighty, on to the second burger now. Nice. Good eats. Y'all might be a little bit confused maybe because I said I'm eating this after the gym, but I'm bulking. It's bulking season. So if y'all are on a bulk, why would you be surprised if I'm eating two burgers after the gym? You know what I mean? Anyways, right? And so that's just the problem with our egos is that they're our default response. Because ego, really, what it is like I explained, it's just a defense mechanism. It's just like, it's just there to protect your identity, your sense of self worth, your sense of self appraisal, your sense of like status, right? That's what ego is. It's there to protect that, protect all of those things that make you you and that make you of like a worthy person and high up in your eyes, right? And that's a very good thing. That's a very good thing to have, the status and being high up in your eyes and like just like being, it kind of just comes down to being kind to yourself and like holding yourself up to high standards. That's a really good thing. And ego is not always bad, but the issue here is that since ego is always our default response to like any criticism to ourselves, um the problem is where it comes into family interactions and relationships. That's the issue, especially with your parents, because like your parents birthed you. Like, come on, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So it's a big issue if it's like it's hard to control in front of your parents. So now that we've identified what the issue is and that ego is the default response, and that we're not able to express our feelings and express how we actually feel and how we want to interact with others and how like it's not me anymore. If my ego is speaking, that's not me anymore. If I'm talking to my parents, my mom or my dad, and my ego is speaking, that's not me. That's not really what I want to be saying. That's not really how I want to interact with you as a like as my parents. So what can we do about it? What we can do is just to recognize, good, we've recognized that it's a default response, so now we just have to be mindful. So if you're now criticized like my mom was like criticizing me in a way, um what I have to do is I have to not respond right away. That's the biggest thing. First step is just to not respond right away. And I know we don't want it to seem slow, like slow in the head or slow in our responses, but like that's what it takes, especially in the beginning, like training yourself, right? Especially in the beginning, that's what we want to do. We want to take our time with our response, not so long, of course. Obviously you're not even going to need that long, but just to rethink and recognize that, okay, my ego wants to speak now. All right, what do I really want to say? Now you're able to communicate openly and effectively with your mom and your dad and in your siblings, anyone of your family, aunt, uncle, anyone, right? And so that's the biggest thing. And then once you're used to this, like taking a deep breath or counting 3 seconds, then you respond. Once you're used to that, it just comes naturally after that. Alrighty, guys, I've been yapping a lot. Last bite right here. Very good meal. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you learned something. I really hope you learned something that you can carry on. I love talking about healthy relationships, maintaining relationships, building relationships. But I believe maintaining relationships a lot harder. It's a lot harder than building relationships. And so we're not supposed to talk with our mouth full. So I'm gonna end this video I'll catch you guys next time. And if you enjoyed and learned something, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. I'll be doing this very frequently. Leave a comment. Tell me how you like or if you don't like the style, or if anything's like giving you the ick, bothering you. Let me know. It is like a eat with me video, so not sure how much I can control about that, but let me know if you want any improvements, any adjustments, and I will be there to do that for you. Peace.